Hello and welcome to Diana's Makerspace, episode 105. This is what I like to show what I've been doing. Diane with Diana's Makerspace, I like to also give sharing and contribution to those who help in the community. One thing I noticed is watching one person develop an EPROM program. I'll put his link on there, but I liked it that he gave recognition to Ben Eder for the technique about using the 595 chips in his design. And even when I was listening to Becky Stern's DigiKey, I was glad that she gave recognition to NerdForge because they do a lot of creative things. Their husband and wife team, and I like their videos as well as Becky Stern's, and also Ben from the DroneBot Workshop, how he shares ideas as well. Now the thing about this is the reason why it's important to share ideas is because basically, this is how we help the community grow, because each of us has certain things and others we don't. So let me show you what I've been working on for the last few weeks or so. This is what I call my dual processor CPM Z80 project. I call it the sausage pizza. Not the sausage. The mushroom's missing as the third processor, but this has an AT AT328, which is used in their Arduino Uno R3, and a Z84 CMOS Z80, which can run at 20 megahertz, and also you can run at any clock speed. It doesn't have a minimum clock speed, so you can actually run on a push button. On top of here is an LED display that substitutes for having a bunch of LED lights. It's a lamp display. I have the address lines A0 through A7 connected, that goes over to this AT28 EPROM, where it's connected here, and then the A0 A2 is connected over here to a MUX, which has another lamp display that shows which device is being active. Device 0 clears the latch. Device 1 sends data to the latch. And what happens, what I did to program the MUX is I take the IR request line, which is active low, and put that as gates 1 and 2 on the MUX, and put power to gate 2, so that basically the MUX is only activated whenever there's an IR request. Now to do the power, I use an idea that I saw on one German engineer. He used a 555, and he had the idea of putting the pot just on pins 8, 7, and 6, and then you run it through 2, and then you run it from 6 to 2, and then you put the capacitor this way, and it makes a very compact design where you can turn it, and it's different from other designs I saw, and I've adapted that. And from what I saw from watching Ben Eder's video making EPROM program, I used to program these pins the other way, is basically bulb 1, 2, and 3. But what happens, he showed an easy way how to do an import pull-up with a capacitor. Basically, you take a resistor to power, put that on this side here. You have a capacitor, your long pole, the capacitor on this side, short pole over here to ground, and then you have the reset line connected to the long pole, and I have an LED connected to the long pole. So when I push this button, it'll do a reset low, and it'll just wait for, and it'll be long enough to wait for 2 cycles to reset on the CMOS Z80. And this is how we can learn from different people. Now, what my main idea is to do in the next steps is to connect the 8255, so that basically you can have it connect to retro parallel devices as a floppy disk controller, terminal, keyboard, other things. And then also connect the RAM chips, so that basically in addition to an EPROM, we have active RAM, so we can actually do other types of programs in here. And one thing I'm always like is when I was in college, we worked on PDP 1170s. They had switch register and 1120s. So I always like to add a switch register. This is an 8-bit switch register with the special touch switches, and this one has the permanent, has the more fixed switches. This will connect to a 245, and then again this will connect to a MUX where we have an I/O request. but this will be activated when basically this is mux, when this is 2, and the display will be activated when it's 3. So basically this will be device 2, device 3. This is both device 1 and 2. So what happens, what I'm doing is I'm using the output from the Z80 to control those devices. The other part is also to use this 8255 also to connect to the Arduino so that we can do inter-process communication. So we can swap off whichever processor wants to be the quarterback. This can start the quarterback, or we can switch it over to this one, and that. So we can do that in real time. And the next project I'm working on actually uses suite that has a Motorola processor. I posted this in the Arduino forum. I called it the cheese, sausage, and mushroom project, and one person thought, "Boy, you thought of a wonderful meme for this for this time like that." So this thing, cheese, sausage, and mushrooms, because I really consider these things. I want to make these like making pizza, because you get the pizza, you get the dough, you put on the tomato paste, you put on cheese, and then. Or another thing I've seen is I order a lot from Bengals in Racine. I've been a customer for since high school, so years back is that. Well, about 42 years back, at least more than 40 years into Angles, so I always order their cheese, sausage, and mushroom. A friend of mine, we go up there and have dinner every so often, have a pizza like that too. So that's why I think it's a cheese, sausage, mushroom pizza. Now the next thing what I want to mention is basically what I bought from AliExpress. Now this is the XGEU Pro T48 program. And you can see it's really basically a very good interface. And let's see if you can, there's a website, xgeu.com. What happens is for those in the United States, basic outside is what happens if you're not using visiting websites outside the States, sometimes you just from the website. And what happens is it says English, or your web translator will come up and say, well, you can do it that way as well. And you could just wait for your web translator to say, do you want this page translated English? Just translate it to English. And when you do that, though, what happens is basically you can download the software, and you just go to download, and then look for the XGECU T48 software. Click on that. Now, when you see the download, it's going to be it may be a little different, because most downloads are MSI file or zip file, but they use an RAR, which is like a zip file. So what you do is you download it, double click on it, then you'll see setup. Click on setup, and the first is to install the drivers. Yes, install the drivers. It's very important. And what happens is you install software. Again, what I love about this is this worked at the time, and it actually reflashed into internal code more chips than was originally made for when it was first manufactured.